Hello everyone. I have a little bit of a different video for our box opening today. I was at Nexus Night tonight and they announced that they had gotten their restock, so I was able to pick up a box at not too expensive, more than MSRP, but pretty reasonable compared to where things are at. So yeah, I figured if I'm gonna have a box, I might as well open it with you guys. So I am just gonna jump right into it. So I have been enjoying Riftbound quite a bit. It's especially nice coming at a kind of a low point in One Piece meta. OP13 was just really kind of uninspiring for me. So Riftbound coming out and being in the space has been a lot of fun. And I've really enjoyed kind of going to the Nexus Nights and having a new venue for kind of gaming. So yeah, actually this game's got me quite excited. Next set is already looking pretty interesting. It's already out in China. If you have not been following the game, it's out in China and they have already had some new leaders make a splash. So yeah, I'm just excited for this game in general. Been playing a lot of different decks. I'm still trying to find a deck home, but have been having fun nonetheless. So one of the things that, unlike with One Piece in this game, there are you're a lot less likely to be able to get all of the cards in a single what's it called, in a single box. So there's a lot of cards in the game that I have not been able to get yet. This is a great card as my first pack. Thousand Tail Watcher is one of the big ones here, and as I'm looking at this, I don't know if this is a error box because I got the two foils, but they're both uncommons. I'm just going to, I guess, keep the packs aside to double check afterwards. There have been some issues reported with collation to where there haven't been the correct number of rares, but I don't know if how the foils count into it, because we did get two foils plus the Thousand Tailed Watcher, but I don't know if that is a problem or not. So I will keep the packs separated for researching forward. I have heard that on the scale of a whole box, the pack rates or the error boxes do even back out, but I don't know well enough to say for certain. Daring Poro is a fun one. I kind of wish that some of the Poros were switched around in their colors. In particular, the green one that has the holding ability seems really strong, and I wish it was in blue or yellow so I could use it in Lux. But alas. So here we have Toon, the Foily Fighter Flight, that'll be nice. And then we have Misfortune and Machine Evangel. So this one does look like it has two, so maybe I set them aside in groups and see if that explains it. But yeah, I've really been enjoying it. Like I said, I've been kind of bouncing around decks right now. So far I've tried Jinx and Lux and Yasuo as the decks that I've tried so far. I think I've been having the most success with Lux, even though she's not necessarily considered a super strong leader. I have been having the most success with her. And I think it's partly because people aren't prepared to play against such a hard control deck. But it has been doing rather well at kind of grinding out a lot of different players. Usually struggles into specifically Kaisa because they are packing retreat and a lot of card draw, so they can protect a few of their guys, and then they just play a bunch of little dudes, and it's hard for me to deal with more than one guy at a time, especially when retreat is in the mix. Retreat in particular, when they were able to defend maybe like a Kaisa leader, is really tough, because they just continue to get value off of it, turn after turn after turn, because of Accelerate. It's just a tough matchup. I have been able to usually go 2-1 with it every time I've played it, but it's definitely a rough one. Another thing that comes on, that I just thought of that I am happy about coming soon is because I'm playing Lux, have to play a non-foil leader card. And the new Nexus packs are going to introduce the foil versions for the what's it called, for the Proving Grounds leaders. So that'll be nice to be able to pick up a foil Lux. And Kaisa, this is a nice pull to get. Very strong card. Got a little bit of everything on it that you would want from, especially from one of these early set cards, where it the power level on all the cards is not quite the same. Having card advantage and Accelerate is really strong on that one. But yeah, looking forward to picking up that foil Lux when those Nexus Knights packs come out. We're going to be on the hunt for those. Hopefully I can pull one, but if I don't pull one, then I will gladly trade for it, and be happy with it when I get it. Another champion unit here. We have Lee Sin and Dr. Mundo. I do want to try Teemo as one of my next decks. And I think that makes my third Dr. Mundo, which I'll take it. It does look like a very interesting deck, and it's the kind of deck that it seems like can get stronger over time, just because Hidden is a pretty integral mechanic, I think, to the game, and will stay integral. Bushes in League of Legends being a really important mechanic, having that kind of stealth element. Oh, this card messed me up tonight. The Fiora really messed me up, because they had the battlefield of when you defend, you could choose one of the units to gain shield 2, which turns on Fiora's mighty ability, giving her an additional shield. So she defends as a 7 might unit for 4 cost, which is really strong. And it just blew me out of the water playing Yasuo tonight. Here we have our first alt art here, the Leona. I did open one of these already, and I traded it to a friend who is playing Leona, so maybe they'll be interested in a second copy. But yeah, these are, I do like the texturing on them. This is a pretty cool effect on there. And so far this one is actually, I guess, 3, because we have the 2 rares and the Leona. So I guess maybe I need to make a third pile over here for that and see if everything balances out. I'll decide if I'm gonna go through the hassle of asking for a replacement on that one, or if it's a moot point, because of the extras here. But what else do I want to talk about while I open these packs? Oh, Orange. I still want to play Misfortune as well. I'm not really a fan of the idea of doing Aurora with Misfortune, but I think the ganking ability on her with some of the other cards is actually quite interesting, and I'd really like to try it. I saw a list near the beginning of the game where somebody was running the set card, the set champion, the orange one, in the Misfortune deck, and they were using ganking to run it around the field all over the place, with Ride the Wind and then the Misfortune ability, and it looked like quite an interesting deck. So if I can pull enough pieces for it, I would like to try that one as well. Peak Guardian, Yasuo, Primal Strength. Okay, this is another one where I'm not sure if these count. So I guess I'll put this in a third category or fourth category. And now that I'm thinking about that, I think back here we had the Jinx pack, which would potentially be a 3-hit one because of it. So I'll have to run through the different possibilities here. Oh, here's the Jinx. Yeah, the Jinx pack had the Kaisai in it. So that is potentially a 3, but I don't know if leaders, or legends I should say, count as rares. I guess the fact that you aren't guaranteed them all in a box means that they probably do count as rares, but worth double checking nonetheless, just to see if I'm getting a fair box. So far, not a ton of super great hits. The Kaisa is obviously great, and the Thousand-Tailed Watcher are both good hits. But especially now that the reprint is out, I don't know if they are going to be holding all of that value. Unchecked Power is one. I already have 2 for my luck stack, so pulling the third one here is going to be a nice pull, at least for what I'm looking to play. So yeah, I'm not too upset about that one. Obviously, Time Warp is the one that everybody wants, because it just seems to be so rare. But I will deal with an Unchecked Power and have it going into next set. Maybe be able to run with the Jace combo, where you sacrifice 1 gear to play out another one. And then you can reasonably play out Unchecked Power and still make guys on the turn. Ravenborn Tome, I'm hearing everybody complain about having way too many of those. I think this makes my playset of them. I don't think I've gotten more than a playset, but it's been a pretty balanced set, I think, for me. I haven't felt like I've gotten way too out of whack on numbers. Maybe a couple cards that I've gotten more of than I should, but not too many. Ooh, and Dazzling Aurora. All right, so now we're getting into pretty good box territory here. Aurora, this is potentially another 3-hit one, because we have the Mythic and then what looks like 2 rares. So I will put that in the 3-hit category. Probably with Leona. And kind of see how this shakes out. Yeah, unfortunately, Aurora being a strong card in the first set, I think it's gonna get hated out by gear interaction in the future, especially with gear seeming to be a pretty important part of the game. Oh, nice! My final stack deck has really been looking for the third one of those. Falling Star is a good one. I think it'll drop. It's probably dropped significantly since I last checked the prices. But good nonetheless. I think this does make my playset Falling Stars. So I would be able to run a Falling Star deck. Potentially Jinx would be the one that I've played that would be closest to that. But yeah. Feel like I'm rambling and I've lost my spot. So I guess moving on to the next topic. Looking forward to the next set. There are a couple interesting ones that I'm looking at. After my thrashing by a Fiora tonight, I'm definitely going to be looking at Fiora as one of the what's it called? One of the decks that I will be checking out. It just felt like a really meaningful thing, especially with the ability to get those channeled runes, which would be enough to equip gear. I'm pretty interested to see where that ends up. The Fiora card becoming mighty, giving it all those stats, seems like a pretty interesting mechanic to play around. Probably hard to make work outright. but I would definitely like to give it a go. I like kind of decks that you have to kind of work for getting them to work right. So I'm not opposed to that as a concept. And then the other thing that's neat about those decks that aren't quite there on arrival is a lot of times you can get something that's kind of close to working, and then you just wait, and every set you can get maybe a new card or whatever to buff up your deck. And it's fun to grow with a deck rather than just have it be great out of the box. Not to be too harsh on anyone who likes their decks to come right out of the box fully formed, because definitely deck building and playing the game are very distinct portions of the game, and they represent a lot of different skills. So I don't want to discount anybody's focus on gameplay skills, but I personally like the puzzle of trying to get the deck into the right spot. It's just fun, a fun puzzle for me. And the idea of having a deck that you can almost get there to where it's still playable, and you just take your lumps when your deck doesn't quite react the way you want it to. But otherwise getting to grow with the deck and learn its in and outs and be the person with the better matchup knowledge just because no one has played your deck. It's just a kind of interesting way to play. So this one is definitely a 3-hit one, because we got the Seal and the Kog'Maw and King's Edict. I think that makes my 3rd red seal, which is great, because I think that it's the kind of, the seals are the kind of card that will always be worth watching, because there will be a deck at some point in the future where you need that much power to make stuff work, and the seals are great ways of doing that. It also works pretty well, like specifically in Jinx. This is where I was playing it, just as a card that's really easy to get out of your hand, make your leader ability easier to use. But yeah. Here is another one where it definitely doesn't look like it has another hit in it. We have the extra alt art, but not an extra hit. So that makes 2 in that category, and I guess 4 in the 3-hit category. I haven't seen extra rares outside of the possibility of well, no, Jinx was in the pack with this, which is the orange symbol. I don't know what the orange symbol means. I have to look this up. I won't bore you guys with speculation anymore. Oh, Fury of Blades is another card that I want to play the Fury of Blades Warwick combo. Probably in Misfortune, just because I feel like that's the most natural place for it to show up. Possession. This one seems fun. I've seen that there is a deck in the next format that runs one really large guy. Essentially, you Voltron him up with all of your equipment, and the idea of just saying, "Nah, that guy's mine now," is pretty funny to me. So a little happy to see that one. Obviously, it could have been a time warp, so could have gotten something else there, but I won't complain too much. We have only seen a single alt art so far, so we should expect, I think, at least one more of those, because we just saw the Leona, and then the rune, I think, is a separate count from the others. Let's see here. Foil, Snapvine, Convergent Mutation. Getting down to the wire, we got 4 packs left. So I'd love to see any overnumber. With Jinx being the least one I'd like to see the least, because I already have one. But any overnumber would be fine. Obviously signatures are great, but I'm definitely not going to hold my breath for a signature. What other things would I like to see? Wouldn't mind seeing a Jinx card, or maybe a Yasuo card. Is it 2 rares again? But I guess I won't complain too much with near about anything, particularly if it's a card that I feel like I can make use of. But worst case, I have some trade fodder if it's not. So this deck, or this game, is a little tough to get into right now. So hopefully I can help give my some of my extras to people who are trying to get into the game in my area, so that we can just get more people into the game. Definitely looking forward to having a good, what's it called? A good turnout at some of these events. My main locals has not gotten into the game yet. They're intending to, but they haven't managed to get the product yet. Here is our second altar. We have the Misfortune. And that's a pretty neat, what's it called? Texturing in the background. That's a neat pattern. And that is another 2-hit. So let's see if we get anything more. That might be all that we get here. I don't know the exact ratios on a box. Unlike with One Piece, I better understand what is in a One Piece box. But in this game, I don't know yet. Moving through, we have Tasty Faithful. That's a pretty good one. I don't know if it is quite as popular as maybe the Thousand Tail Watcher, but it's definitely a pretty good card that you see in play quite a bit. And then last pack here. Let's see. Megamech. It's fun that this completely vanilla card actually sees play in some sideboards. I do like the idea of that as a early game, or early in a game's life cycle. It's great to see stuff like that. Oh, it is another overnumber here. It's another Jinx. So how about that? I wasn't expecting anything here at the end. I was just thinking, oh, that's the box. But we did get another overnumber Jinx. Unfortunate that I already have a Jinx, but Jinx is definitely up there on my favorite characters list from this set. So I won't be too mad. This can now be a nice display piece to go with the one that I have in my deck. And now I have one that can be dedicated as a display piece, or I can find somewhere to trade it. So I won't complain too much about this. And then we have, I guess this one would be a 3-hit because of that. And then looking at our numbers, the ones that I'm unsure on, we have 2 that are definitely just a single rare. And then we have the leader ones. So this one is a 3-hit if you include leader. This one is a 3-hit if you include leader. Oh. This one is definitely, or potentially a 1-hit, or 2-hit if you include leader, 1-hit if not. Yeah, this is another one. So those are both potentially 1-hits. Yeah, potentially a 1-hit. So 3, 4, 5 potential 1-hit boxes. Or these are definitely 1-hits. That one's definitely a 1-hit. And this one is definitely a 1-hit because it's just the Watcher. And then for 3-hit boxes, we have this is definitely a 3-hit box. So I won't complain about that one. This one I would count as a 3-hit box. So I won't complain about this one. Definitely 3 hits. Won't complain about that. definitely 3 hits. Won't complain about that. So looking at this, if we, let's see, this was a 3 hit. If you include lead, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 hits. Some of them are with leaders. So if you include leaders as rares, which they're marked that way, so I guess that's probably how they're intended to be. And then we only really had 2 real dud packs, and I feel like we had probably enough 3 hits to not really worry about it. But I'll have to research it more. I'll let you guys know what I find out. And it'll probably come up in my Summoner Sunday video coming up this weekend. If I figure it out, I'll make sure to let you guys know there on what the exact policy is with those. So in case you guys get any packs that are the feels kind of stinky 1 things in a box, what does that mean for the thing? But I'll let you guys know what I find there. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I guess let me lay out the cards that are definitely hits. We have Leona is a pretty big one, I know. Not super big, but it is an alt art. Aurora is definitely a card that is better. Let's pull these aside. Leona. And then we have our alt art rune, which is very pretty. We have a seal, which is nice to see. We have the overnumber, which is great. We have possession, which is one of our epics, or whatever they're called. We've got Kaisa, who's a good hit. She also has the orange symbol, so I think that means she's epic. That probably means the Lee Sin that we got is, that one's Thousand-Tailed Watcher, I know is a good hit, even if it's only a rare. Blitzcrank, no. Primal Strength, no. 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 And then looking at our 2-hit packs, no. Alt Art Misfortune. Let's see if we can grab the Twinkle. Then we have nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there. Yeah. Nothing here. We have Unchecked Power as one of our epics. Let's put that in there. Lee Sin looks to be an epic here. I had the Mundo in front because that was the one I were more excited about, but I like to see that we've got these epics here. Then Darius is one I am excited to have an extra copy of, even though I don't know if he is super expensive. And it looks like that might be it for our fancy cards here. So our alt art hits, we have Misfortune and Leona. We have our Calm Rune. We got a seal. Epics would be Possession, Aurora, Kaisa, Unchecked Power, Lee Sin, and probably the overnumber counts towards that. And then a nice rare here in the Thousand-Tailed Watcher. So all in all, I'm happy with this box. I'll definitely be looking to get in some trades and maybe help some people in my community get into the game better, find just making cards more available. But thanks again for hanging out with me for this slightly different week. Hope you guys have been enjoying it, and I will see you guys in the next video.